Good evening and thanks for making a date with us for the Tuesday edition of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madimba. We commence this evening's bulletin with news from the Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, where two men, a Chinese national and a Namibian, were arrested in Okahanja recently after they were found in possession of protected plant species. Sawi Ausiku compiled our lead report.
These plant species are 4 Adonai-Penchuali plants, 15 Cyphostemma plants, 8 Conforus plants, 5 parcels containing Welwitschia seeds, and 12 parcels with different unidentified seeds. Miunda said the arrest of the two men came after the ministry's officials followed up on a video in which the two suspects were seen collecting protected plants, reportedly in the areas of Usokos in the Erongo region.
It's still not known at this point why the plant species were collected by the two suspects. However, we suspect that perhaps it is to be exported elsewhere or to be sold to be exported elsewhere illegally. And we just want to urge members of the public to be very vigilant when it comes to these issues. And when they see people collecting plants or harvesting plants in their areas, they should notify the officials of the ministry. It doesn't matter if it is protected or not protected. There are some plants that are succulents in the country, it means that you do not find them. They are not so common. And because they are not so common, if you harvest them, you may finish them and will not have those plants moving forward. So that is why we are protecting them, so that we can preserve that species of a plant that moving forward and in future we should continue to have these plants.
National Assembly Secretary Lydia Kandetu stressed the importance of swift management decisions and the regular appraisal of the public on parliamentary business. She made this call to the various parliamentary officials during a workshop in Swakopmund yesterday. Isabel Bento, our Erongo region-based correspondent, filed this insert.
Kandetu was speaking at the opening of the Enhancing Participatory Democracy in Namibia Capacity Building and Training Workshop for chairpersons and deputy chairpersons of committees, as well as chief whips and deputy whips of political parties at Swakopmund on Monday. The Enhancing Participatory Democracy in Namibia is a program aimed at contributing to national development goals through the strengthening of collaboration and coordination between Parliament, civil society organizations, and other government bodies in the implementation thereby enhancing participatory democracy in Namibia. Kandetu said the 5-day workshop aims to create a platform for the leadership of standing committees to navigate the challenges of managing the standing committees of Parliament and minimizing conflict among members of Parliament, among others, while also emphasizing the important role chairpersons and deputy chairpersons play in the different committees they serve. She added that the workshop is designed to equip leaders of committees with knowledge on how to handle a broad range of issues that need their attention in the management of standing committees during scrutiny of bills and oversight implementation and outcomes of public policies and programs. Reporting for Nampa News, I am Sawi Ausiku.
Staying in the Erongo region, SWAPO party candidate for the Swakopmund constituency by-elections, Nehemiah Solomon, says he will fight for the refurbishment of existing incomplete mass housing project houses as part of his plan to deal with the prickly housing issue at the town. Once more, Isabel Bento compiled the story.
Solomon said he will do so once elected into position of Swakopmund constituency councillor in a recent interview with Nampa. The former Swakopmund mayor said the houses have been standing incomplete and unoccupied for years and should be fixed and given to those in need as a matter of urgency. He further said shack fires continue to destroy residents' homes and lives and is one that needs to be tackled head-on. This year alone, more than 600 families living in shacks were affected by fires and lost most of, if not all, their belongings. The Swakopmund by-elections are slated for 12 August 2022. The elections were necessitated by the removal of Independent Patriot for Change, Siske Howard Smith, by her party.
Shifting attention to continental news. Thousands of Sudan's Hausa people protested in several cities earlier today, demanding justice for cadres killed in a deadly land dispute with a rival ethnic group in the country's south. Lydia Pitiri brings us this report.
Sudan's health minister said at least 79 people have been killed and 199 wounded since heavy fighting broke out last week between Barty and Hausa groups in Blue Nile State. While the army has been deployed in the Blue Nile State and fighting quashed, protests have since erupted in other states. On Tuesday, Hausa protesters in the capital, Khartoum, held up signs demanding justice for the Blue Nile martyrs and no to murder of Hausas. Fighting reportedly broke out on the 12th of July after Bartas rejected Hausa request to create a civil authority to supervise access to land. A prominent Hausa member told AFP on condition of anonymity. But a senior Barta leader said the group was responding to a violation of its lands by the Hausas.
When we return, the Democratic Republic of Congo announces auction of drilling rights in rainforest. We commenced the primetime B segment in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where authorities revealed that the country will auction rights to drill for oil in more than 24 areas, including a rainforest region that green groups say should be protected.
The Minister for Hydrocarbons, Didier Budimbu, announced late on Monday that 27 blocks for oil exploration and 3 for gas will be auctioned off from July 28. He said of the 27 oil blocks, 3 are located on the coast of the Congo River Basin and 9 in the huge Central Basin rainforest region in the west of the country, adding the other 15 are in the east of the country near the Albert and Tanganyika Great Lakes. Budimbu noted the 3 gas blocks are located at Lake Kivu, also in the east. Environmental campaigners have protested against plans to drill in the Central Basin. They say oil prospection there, which will include the cutting of huge corridors to transport equipment, could have a disastrous impact on the rare species and unleash carbon that has lain undisturbed for thousands of years. Reporting for Nampa News, I am Sawi Hauseko.
On to business news from further afield. The European Commission earlier today proposed spending 500 million euros to finance joint defense purchases among member states in order to replenish weapon stocks following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Lydia Pitiri sheds more perspective.
In the first for the European Union, the fund will draw on the EU budget over the next 2 years and would help countries replace depleted stockpiles after arms shipments to Ukraine emptied arsenals. European Commissioner Thierry Breton said EU countries have drawn on their stock of ammunition, light and heavy artillery, anti-aircraft and anti-tank defense systems, and even armored vehicles and tanks. He warned this has created a de facto vulnerability that now needs to be addressed urgently. Defense spending in Europe varies widely among the 27 EU member states and lacks coordination, drawing criticism that neighboring countries often double up on investment, driving up prices.
That's all we had for you in the top segment. Kindly stay tuned for Sport Planet with my colleague Selima Shimwefalini Masipa. But first, the economics roundup and the weather forecast.
A very good evening and welcome to All Things Sport on Sport Planet. I'm Salima Shumwefeleni Masipa. Athletics leads the segment tonight. Namibia's sole representative at the 2022 World Athletics Championships, Beatrice Masilingi, reached the next round of the 200-meter event after comfortably winning her heat. The Namibian beat Jamaican sprinter Shericka Jackson, who specializes in the 400 meters. Jackson won a gold medal in the 4x100 meter relay and bronze in the 4x400 meter relay at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. On to football transfer happenings. A magnificent Christian Eriksen and warrior Lisandro Martinez will bring creative flair and fighting spirit to Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag said today as his new look squad starts taking shape. The pair joined Feyenoord left-back Tyrell Malacia as the Dutchman's three key signings so far, as he looks to inject new life into the Old Trafford team after their woeful campaign last season. United, who last won major silverware in 2017, finished 6th in the Premier League with their lowest points total since the league was launched in 1992. Stand by for your sports roundup. And with that, we've come to the end of tonight's newscast. Many thanks for tuning in. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, and press the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Do join us tomorrow for yet another edition of Primetime News. From myself, Salima Shumwefeleni Masipa, and the entire production crew, it's good night.